So what are you doing here now?
Wasting my time.
Did you catch this? Spoilers ahead. Reacher Season 3's Episode 7 perfectly paves the way for the finale by introducing a twist that puts Jack Reacher and his team at a major disadvantage. Before setting the stage for the season's endgame, Reacher Season 3's Episode 7 begins on a bittersweet note where the titular character and Duffy meet Teresa's grandmother. With what follows, the two Reacher Season 3 characters threaten Prado and force him to arrange a meeting for them with Beck. In the meantime, Neagley, too, puts together pieces of the overarching puzzle before making her way to Maine. Once Neagley reunites with Reacher, Reacher realizes that it is a little too late to keep her out of his dangerous mission. Therefore, he asks her to meet Beck and offer him a deal where, if he complies with them and helps them punish Quinn, they will return the favor by protecting him and his son. Although apprehensive, Beck eventually agrees to join forces with the heroes and later informs them how Quinn's next sale is going to take place in the Bullhead Salvage Yard. Little does he realize that Quinn is one step ahead of him and Reacher. Reacher and his gang thought Quinn's deal was happening at the salvage yard. Beck informs them about the location. After learning that two individuals working under Beck were undercover agents, Quinn immediately grew distrustful towards him. Therefore, to ensure his next deal went as planned, he kept Beck at arm's length. This prevented Beck from knowing the precise location of where the final sale was going to take place. Beck only knew that the buyers were flying out from Yemen and were going to land on a private airfield before making the deal. To maintain his side of the agreement with Neagley, Beck asks Quinn where the guns need to be transported for the purchase to be finalized. When Quinn informs him they must be taken to Bullhead Salvage Yard, Beck immediately calls Reacher and tells him about the location. While Jack Reacher sets up a sniper rifle near the yard, hoping to kill Quinn before ATF agents arrest him, Neagley follows the Yemen buyer's vehicle. To Reacher's surprise, he notices that only Beck has shown up for the sale, with Quinn nowhere in sight. When Reacher asks Neagley where the buyers seem to be heading, he figures out that Quinn has somehow managed to outsmart them. Quinn was really setting Beck up while the deal happened at the mansion. Quinn intentionally told him the wrong details about the deal. After only seeing Beck at the salvage yard and realizing that the Yemen buyers are heading somewhere else, Reacher asks Neagley if they are following the coastline. When Neagley responds with a firm yes, Reacher concludes that the buyers are heading to Beck's mansion. With this, he connects the dots and realizes that Beck was set up by Quinn. Quinn lied to him about the location of the deal and asked his buyers to come to the mansion to finalize the sale. While only time will tell how Quinn grew suspicious of Beck's loyalty, he likely started wondering about his motives when Beck kept insisting that he should get Richard out of the mansion before the day of the deal. With the developments in Reacher Season 3's Episode 7, Beck is in a dangerous situation where he might not even make it out alive from the salvage yard since the ATF is already waiting there to infiltrate the deal. A crossfire between Beck's men and the ATF will likely break loose in the finale, and it will come down to Reacher to save Beck before it is too late. Does Quinn know Beck is secretly working with Reacher? Quinn seems to have figured out the truth. Reacher Season 3's main villain, Xavier Quinn, stopped trusting Beck the moment he realized that many law enforcers were secretly lurking around in his mansion and trying to take him down. He grew even more suspicious of Beck's involvement with Reacher when Beck kept inquiring about the deal's location and insisted on getting his son out of the mansion. Even though Quinn likely did not know for certain whether Beck was secretly working with Reacher, he did not want to take any risks with the sale because his own life depended on it. Reacher Season 3's Episode 6 established that Quinn had to execute his deal with the buyers to be able to pay back a hefty loan he had taken from a dangerous Russian mob. Therefore, after reaching the final stage of the sale, he did not want to risk getting Beck involved because he was the only weak link in his meticulous plan. He may not have known that the ATF would also arrive at the salvage yard, but he likely smelled trouble when Beck started acting strange. To ensure nothing came in the way of his deal, he misguided Beck and in turn fooled Reacher and the ATF. Why the ATF is now in charge of Reacher Season 3's case. Duffy and Villanueva decide to get the ATF involved. After growing concerned that Quinn's men would outnumber and outgun them, Duffy and Villanueva conclude that they need to get the ATF involved. They also believe that the ATF deserves to know about their agent, Annette, who was undercover in the Beck mansion as a maid before being caught and murdered. Hoping that the ATF would give them credit for getting to the bottom of Quinn's illegal gun trading business, they approached the law enforcement agency in Reacher Season 3's Episode 7 with the Alan Richson character. However, to their dismay, ATF Chief Doug Sears seems dissatisfied with the way they handled the case. Instead of commending them for their work, he asks them to back off and claims that his team will handle the rest. Duffy and Villanueva try to retain control, but Sears only agrees to have them near the salvage yard if they promise not to actively participate in the mission. With this, the two DEA agents are forced to comply with the ATF, but Reacher, as always, answers to no one. Caring little about the legal consequences of his actions, Reacher sets out to kill Quinn by himself. What Reacher Season 3, Episode 7's ending means for the finale. Reacher will have to race against time in Season 3's finale. Since Reacher promised he would protect Beck and his son, he would first have to handle the situation at the salvage yard in Season 3's finale. He cannot merely protect Beck by killing ATF agents, because that would just be morally wrong and even escalate the situation. However, he could ensure that Beck remains alive even if a crossfire breaks loose between his men and the ATF. This way, Beck would only get arrested for his involvement in a massive gun smuggling business, but live to see another day. Thanks for watching.